Exercising with an injury can be challenging, just as much mentally as physically. It was recently suggested to me that I should videotape some of the in-house exercises that I've been doing while on crutches. If a similar injury is keeping your workouts at home, these are some of the exercises I've been doing since my accident. I've been starting off my exercise routines on my crutches with an exercise called the pistol. The pistol is basically a one-legged squat with the other leg in the front. I actually grab a hold of my crutches by the pads, looping my fingers around the ends and angling them behind me for better stability. Now with them actually angled behind me, the pressure is being laid back while holding onto the crutches. I can now sit down using the power of my arms to support me into a full pistol. I can use as much pull or as little pull with the crutches as necessary to continue my one-legged pistols. We spend a lot of time on our crutches hopping back and forth, but very little time actually bending the leg. That's why I like to start my routine on the single strong leg with the pistols. The next exercise I would get into would involve a chair, and there are just simple push-ups into the chair, staying on the one leg. If this is too intense, you can go down to your knees and continue the push-ups, or to a full push-up on the floor, or a full push-up from your knees on the floor. This allows us to work the upper body, chest, and shoulders in more dynamic motion than simply holding on and pressing into the crutch. Since I've got my chest worked in, I'm going to go ahead and turn around, and I'm going to work my triceps in the dips. Very easy up and down motions, using the chair as a brace to bring myself back to my crutches. From here, since we've already done the pistol, I'm going to work a little higher on the quadricep into a lunge. Now for the lunge, I'm going to angle my crutches forward, keeping a hold of the pads, and place my injured leg behind me. Again, just like a one-legged squat, pushing all the way through the heel and straight up, leaning on the crutches. I'll continue my one-legged squats, lunges, with the best form that I can maintain. After I get in some of the major exercises, I'll go to seated or kneeling exercises. Now this can easily be accomplished again with a chair and a pillow. Some of the exercises I like to do are glute kicks and glute raises. Using a single crutch, I can place myself onto the pillow with my knees and simply kick my foot into the air for the glute raises, switching legs and kicking my opposite leg into the air for the glute raises. Notice the entire time I keep my injured ankle off of any pressure. This can be done again with glute kicks. If you want to get a little bit deeper on the glute kicks, you can come off the side of the chair a little, and you can come all the way up and all the way back, getting the full range of motion. And again, to do the other side, you need to switch. Now, other exercises obviously that can be done would be from the seated position on your chair. If you have the ability or the equipment, you can use resistance bands, getting you some overhead shoulder presses, some lateral raises, or even some reverse lateral raises. If you don't have resistance bands or dumbbells, you can go into your cabinets, get a couple of cans, and do some internal shoulder rotation exercises. Getting your shoulders to move is very important when on crutches, as the pad of the crutch pushes into the shoulder and doesn't give much more than a protracting motion. We don't have a lot of that lateral or rotational movement. So I like to get those in when I can. Now one neat thing I like to show people if they're bound to a chair, crutches, or a walker, is that kettlebells aren't for just those who can stand, you can do the same swings with a kettlebell while in a chair. You want to position yourself towards the front of the chair, keeping as much pressure off of your foot as necessary to prevent pain, and allow the kettlebell or improvised device, as I'll show you in a second, to swing between your legs without hitting the chair. From here, you can do the same glute swings for cardiovascular and strength benefits. Don't have a kettlebell? You can get yourself several grocery bags, fill it with these cans, give it a nice roll at the top, grip it tightly with your fingers. Instant kettlebell, sandbag, whatever you want to call it. This can be used for pressing exercises, tricep extensions, or even bicep curls. You can come up with lots of improvised exercises to do while still on crutches. These are just a few of them that I've been using here recently, 5 days since my accident.